Welcome to Table Talk. Table Talk. Table Talk. Table Talk.
And nobody feet come stop. I come from the streets pure hunger. For them we no be fire dun. I feel pray I feel to stand on the fire. Make I never lose my substance. Favor shower me in abundance. For them we no be fire dun.
I had so much fun with his ENJ. We had over 2 hours of conversation. Stay tuned for part 2 of its ENJ with DJ Willy Wonka and myself, Nikki G the Voice, as we get a little personal with the man with my oh so famous word game and in the life of ENJ. Make sure to check out their new song, On God, streaming on all platforms. Click that bell on YouTube, like and subscribe to Table Talk Show with Nikki G the Voice. Thank you. Thank you for watching. We're back with Table Talk Show with my guests, Willy Wonka and ENJ, the brothers Chimdi, Chimdi and Otito. You guys are vibes. I swear, you're vibes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let me ask you, working as brothers, I know there's, you have your camaraderie and stuff like that, and you have it been days where you're like, oh my God, shut up. I don't want to hear you talk today. I'm like, leave me alone. I need my own space, or anything of the sort where maybe you don't agree on something and you just want your peace, or how does it work with both of you working together?
There's a lot of days that we have those experiences.
Yeah.
I think that's normal. I think if we don't have that, it would be weird.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing for me because you learn to you learn to deal with it, but you also learn that it's needed. Those differences is needed for ENJ, the group, to be a thing, because it's our differences that also make our body of work so
dynamic.
So dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
If we both had the same mind, the same everything, it would probably even clash more. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think it's like the same differences that make us work well together is the same differences that also make us butt heads from time to time.
Yeah.
I think it's family that really helps us like kind of keep things good, because like we know we're from the same mom, same dad. Like at the end of the day, like besides all this music stuff, like we're brothers. So at the end of the day, like let nothing get
come in between
that. At the end of the day, it's just material things. Like our brotherhood is deeper than that, So
yeah, that's dope.
He's right. Like I feel like our differences is what makes us, like it's like a double-edged sword. What we use, to bring all of this energy into the world is also what makes us butt heads. But it's also beautiful because it's like there's beauty. I'm learning the beauty in perfection. Like I'm getting comfortable understanding that there's perfection in imperfection.
Yeah. I was actually doing a status today. I erased it, but I was doing a status today, and my thing is basically the same thing you said. I'm not perfect, right? And I love my imperfections. But even if my hair is away and I put it up on Instagram, I'm like, Nicole, you're not always going to be cute. Your hair is not always going to be a certain way and stuff. And even my cousins know. Sometimes they're like, Nicole, you just so nonchalant. Like, you just accept life how it is. And that's me. Like, I accept everything. Some things you can't change. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it helps you grow. I feel like it's what makes us unique. That's what unique comes from, that imperfection, because, we don't really, what is right? What is the perfect thing to do? We don't really have that.
It's all subjective.
It's all subjective. It all depends on what you feel, what you've experienced,
Yeah.
So that imperfection leaves that room for, that delta T, if we go back to engineering talk, that change, that growth.
Yeah. And you have your boundaries and your guidelines and so forth.
Yeah, to also add to what you're saying, to also add to what he's saying, like we also like, balance, at least do our best to balance, like separate like work from personal time, from time, from individual time. Like, sometimes we'll go on individual walks, individual runs, individual drives, like, I'm trying to say, like individual hangouts, like just to kind of like still maintain our own individuality as still also having that camaraderie as a group.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
I think it's very important to do
And
that.
Willie, how is it working with both gentlemen?
Oh, it's like it's two different dynamics. It's two different worlds. Like you get Otito. When I look at Otito, he is like he's just energy. He's I describe them as yin and yang. They're the yin and yang of each other. Like, I look at them like that. They're just perfect for that. And then Chimdi, he's more of he's a lyrical guy. He's a serious one. He's more like he gives me that like more chill. Like he's more like balanced. Like he's chill. Like he's more like that's what I get from him a lot.
Yeah, looking at the facial expressions, like they kind of he remind me of Snoop Dogg. For some reason.
I've gotten that before. I've gotten
I've
gotten that before. That's funny.
Yeah, no, Tito reminds me, like I just looked at Boyz II Men and he just reminded me of one of the guys from Boyz II Men. I think he's the producer.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Boyz II Men.
I know Boyz II Men, but I'm not sure who the producer is.
I don't know which one.
I don't have his name, but I'll probably send it to you later or something. But he reminds me of him because he's the one. He's outgoing, but he's also businesslike. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he wears the glasses and stuff like that. So similarities.
Okay.
Yeah. So with just working with them, it's a good balance of both worlds. Like I just like it. It's just the energy and how they work is like, and they're very like they call them the Dappa gang. So that they dress, they put them. They're very well put together. You know, is you can see when if you walk with them, everybody's sort of looking at them.
Yeah,
like they strike the room, and it's interesting because just me watching from the outside, I'm like, oh, these guys are something.
Yeah,
there's something special. There's something special. There's something special about it. It's just that the world needs to see it. Some people like not everyone hasn't seen it, but it's just that. It's just that their energies and what they give to their music is just authentic, you know.
Mm-hmm. You hear it in their sound. Mm-hmm. I mean, I read it in the bio where you guys are into fashion and music and so forth. So you see it also on your page. I'm like, these guys are out this time, 3 years. Well, excluding the H's because you always have your background and then the time that you escalate. Yeah. But you could see that you're well put together.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely shows that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So on this single that you have, where do you go from here? Well, talk about the single, like how it came about, the song, the writing part of it, and so forth.
Oh, the lyrics, I think we made the song in like 10. We wrote the song in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was the fastest.
That was like one of our fastest songs because and that's something. The funny thing is that one of our producers, like, he sent us the beat a long time ago, and it was just sitting in my messages.
How long was it?
A couple months, maybe like
okay.
Yeah, maybe like 8 months. It was he sent to me a while ago, and it was just sitting in the messages. They'll send a bunch of beats, or we'll send beats back and forth. Like we'll send some stuff that's unfinished, and then they'll help finish it. They'll send stuff, we'll help them finish it. That's kind of how we collaborate. Sometimes they'll send new work. And if I like some, we'll pick it, we'll record to it. If I don't really like it, I'll just like let it sit there. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing one day. I just kind of like scrolled up and I saw I hit the beat. I pressed I played the beat, and it just all of a sudden like I still started humming something like oh God, I feel like he started
wow. So the word itself just came out.
Yeah. So because he kept hearing on God.
Yeah, so it came from right. So we were doing there was this guy, one of our friends. He's a marketer. He does like Instagram, Facebook marketing and so on. So I met him, speaking to him when I was in his car one time, and I was telling him he's I can't remember if he's Caribbean or no. I believe no, he's not Caribbean. He's Black American. But he was asking me about like African culture and all that stuff. So I was just telling him what I know, from my parents and what I know from back home and everything. So he got very inspired, right? Just very inspired from just hearing it. He's like, oh, wow, like on God, we're gonna have to do it. He said that at least 30, 40 times. Wow. And he just kept on saying it. And when things like I don't take it for granted. So when that beat was playing, and another instance also happened around that time, there was a show that we were supposed to do that didn't turn out the way it turned out. It was supposed to turn out. So tensions were high, feelings were all over the place around that time. So that kind of also influenced that energy as well. So as we're talking about what's going on, the word on God is in my head. We're trying to keep ourselves motivated amidst the current situation. What people see online is not what's happening every day.
Of course not. Yeah.
That, like, obviously roller coasters. It's not as stagnant, beautiful as it's painted. There's roller coasters in this journey. So in those down moments, we always have to find ways to keep ourselves motivated. And I feel like this beat, that situation that we had to climb out of, the beat kind of brought us out. Gave us a platform to now speak on this situation that we were going
office or something,
and we were telling ourselves that, because what we're saying in the song is on God.
They're all affirmate. We're just saying affirmations.
Affirmations,
like on God we're gonna make it. It's short. It's already written, and nobody can stop it.
So it shall be done. That's
it's already done. And so that's essentially what. And it, like what you was saying, around that time when if the lyrics came out, it was because of what we were going through at the time. So it was easy to the words just came, because that was the energy we were feeling, that we were climbing and people were trying to stop us. So that's
you
can't stop me. So
but that's what people say in New York. Oh God, I'm gonna,
So it's like, so for me, it was like, I'm very grateful for the gift of music, because the ability to have that like kind of channel. Whenever you're feeling any type of emotion, you could just pick up a pad and just start writing. You hear a beat and the melody just comes, and I think it's heaven sent. I think it's something that I cherish and I don't take for granted at all. So because that allowed us, that emotion we felt, we were able to pour it out to the music, and it just lives there now. I don't have to carry it or bottle that emotion up and move around the world feeling angry or being whatever. I can just pour it out into my art and have it live there and move on my life. And
the energy
is I'm able to smile, I'm able to be good because I have an outlet to kind of just. Music is essentially also therapy.
It is. It is.
So, listening to it and making it. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
it's an ability to kind of making it feel like it's ability. It's like transferring energy, because they say in physics energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So you go, you wake up today, right? I know my dad, screams. He's a very fun guy, but also when he gets mad, he gets mad. So imagine waking up and my dad is angry or something, and if I was back home now and he's like, oh, you don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. All that energy is to you now. We can either take that energy and transfer it to somebody else, or I can take that and use it as a fuel. Like Kanye would say, use this arrogance as a steam to power my dreams. Use this energy that I was just given just now, that I could be like, oh, my dad don't like me, this and that. No, he's just having a bad day. I'm gonna take this energy, I'm gonna transfer it to the music. I'm gonna make this song to remind me that I'm gonna get through this, and I'm gonna aggressively put my energy into it. I gotta give it my all, because this energy was given to me. I don't want it to sit here. I can't. It's too much of a burden to carry. We try to smile through a lot, especially in this country, but it's not that. We're spending millions of dollars on therapy as well, So I feel like one of the best things we could do is, find a way to release some of this energy that we're experiencing in the outside world. I don't think it's meant to be sitting with us. I don't think that's how life is.
That is so true. Willie, your parts in the single, could you give us
my parts? Well, for me, it was just me sort of being in that whole the experience of them dealing with what they were dealing with at that show, what they were supposed to and it was just me just trying to just giving them my what I experienced before in the past, to let them know don't worry about this, yo, we're gonna do it. More is gonna come. Who cares what they say or what they think, or they don't want us on this stage? Is whatever. but we're gonna like that's why I said fuck them all. Like I don't like who cares? Like who cares about them? Like who cares what they say? You know, that's how I start to realize like, yo, who cares what they say? Because you know, people are gonna reject you or they're gonna try to stop you. So it's just you just gotta pick yourself up and just brush your shoulders off and continue. Just use the energy into something else. What they did was they put it into some lyrics, and it was it was fire.
Yeah, it was fire. Really was instrumental in like kind of just making sure keeping the fuel, keeping the fire burning. Like yo, gotta make some music, gotta make some tracks. Like
gotta make some music.
A lot of major studio link ups are all Willie's ideas. He's like, oh, let's we went out, did like a retreat in Big Bear. Big Bear's like this like snow mountain in California. It's like a nice little getaway. It snows over there. There's like cabins. So we did that for like 5-6 days, for like a week and a half.
Yeah, it was just like experience.
All three of you.
Yeah, and another producer, DJ.
Producer.
He came out there as well, and it was during my birthday weekend. It was beautiful. We had a hot tub outside, so it was like
it was lit. It was amazing.
We brought all our like musical equipment. You know what I'm trying to say? Set it up in the crib, and it was just like sleep, eat, music, like just talk, chill, music. So like that was Willie's idea, and that allowed us to really just create a lot of stuff and like get things in the pipeline. So I think that's essentially his influence working with us.
Yeah, I just try to make the space better for them. Like I feel like if they have the right spaces and places where they could go and experience new things, new stuff they could write about, new things they could be, just new things and ideas could come out from us experiencing like just life, going somewhere different, being in a different environment, because I feel like those are important. If we don't have those experiences, we can't really sort of formulate something or create, if we just stayed in one little specific little spot, like you won't have ideas, but you got to go out there and see the world. That's what I feel like.
That's true. Traveling. So. I started traveling. I mean, I travel, but when I went out, I was telling you some time ago when we were talking, and I probably went to DR. The first time I went to DR, I went for Mother's Day. I took my mother. Then I went back, and then I went 4 times after that because the space it was great, just meeting people and so forth, But I always have a saying, starve your distractions and feed your focus. I always say that because if I'm mad, I go straight to work. I would do this music thing that I love, and I would always go to that, or I'd go by the water and just think. Taking a bath makes me think even more. It's like, I mean, you're supposed to take a bath, but it's like it makes you think even more, just hearing that water falling and stuff like that, and you get so many ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a cool thing. All right, so I'm gonna jump into my game. All right. So the game that I'm playing is very quick and easy. It's one word. You give me another word that pops in your mind. So we'll go from top to bottom. Well, the way how I'm seeing it, I'm seeing Chimdi on top, Otito below, and then Willy Wonka. So we'll go in that direction. All right.
Cool. No problem.
Okay. All right. So music industry.
Entertainment.
Stars.
I see this like just a lot of like fans, like just fans, lights.
Okay,
just,
that's your word.
Yeah, okay. That's mine.
All right, ENJ.
Enjoyment.
My bad.
Enjoyment.
Yes.
Dapper way.
Gang.
I didn't hear.
I said Dapper way. Dapper way.
Oh, okay. All right.
Me, gang. We are gang. We're here.
Yeah. Gang.
Yeah.
Life.
Sweet.
Unfolding.
Vibes. That's vibes.
Vibes. That's vibes. Vibes and feels.
Yeah.
Nigeria.
Oppa.
Plenty.
I said the same. Oppa. Plenty.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Me, culture. It's culture. It's big culture. I feel like it's something I want to go there bad. So it's culture.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Nice.
I feel like there's something there for me.
Uh-huh.
there's something
But you have to go because you know, if you're in business with them, you have to go and feel and whatever they're feeling and stuff.
No, he's definitely gonna come back with us.
Nice. That's great.
And we're going to Belize too.
Yeah, for sure.
America.
Freedom. Oh, good.
America. Wow. Classism. I don't know.
What's that?
I said classism, but I don't know if that's a thing.
Classism. Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, there's so much, but I've heard there's more classism in England rather than here. But
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I would say I said freedom. So rights. Like I have rights. My rights.
Wonderful.
For me, it's like between two. It's between system or resource. It's a resource. That's how I look at it.
True. Love.
Beautiful.
Unchanging.
Unchanging.
Unwithering, like unchanging. Yeah.
Yeah. Explain that.
It's there whether, like, love is there whether life changes. So between no matter what happens, love is there to take care of you. I look at it. So in my head, right? God is love. I'm a big believer in God, and I equate that to love specifically because I'm Catholic. So my confirmation saint was Saint John, and I believe that it's in the John part of the Bible. That's one of the things he said. God is love, and why I look at that is that's like throughout like my journey in my life, I've noticed that things are always going to be changing. Like I mentioned earlier, like Delta T, like things always changing. But I feel like God, which is that love, is always there. And there's a part in the Bible where it says that like the birds don't have to look for food. God takes care of them.
He takes care of us all. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I've experienced that like in so many aspects of my life. No matter what I do, if I go this way, if I go that way, if I make a mistake, if I do that, that is still there. So that's why I said unchanging.
All right. Really?
Cycle. It's a cycle. Like it's
cycle.
It just keep coming like in different waves. Just comes around from different people, and then I'm able to transfer it to somebody else. Someone's giving it to me. It just it's just that's how I look at it.
All right. Fashion.
Wow, these words. and being first is like, okay.
Yeah, switch it up. We'll go to Willie after.
Okay, passion, fruit.
You said passion or
passion fruit?
Fruit.
But fruit. Oh, okay. All right.
Passion is calling. Or calling. I would say calling.
Passion. I think, I don't know, for me, it's like music. I don't know, music is my passion. Like that's passion. When I think of passion, is music.
All right. So for some reason, everybody heard passion, but it's fashion.
Oh, fashion.
I thought you said passion.
I was like,
because when you said
that's why I said fruit. That's why I said fruit. Passion fruit.
Yeah, I was like, what do you know about passion fruit? Because I thought passion fruit was more Trinidadian.
Yeah. So fashion. Oh, life. Fashion is life. What?
When I think of fashion, it's a statement.
Yeah.
It's like energy. It's like like what are you saying? Like it's like a communication.
Yeah, I think identity too. That's what I get. Like it's like sort of like describes you, gives an idea like who you are. People get an idea just by the surface.
True.
It's like this.
True. All right. Otito. Success.
Success.
One word.
One word for success. Happiness.
Wonka.
Damn. I did that for. I definitely want to say happiness, but I feel like it's just I think milestones. That's what I feel like.
Okay.
Hitting different milestones. Yeah.
All right. Chimdi.
Evolve, evolution.
Evolution.
It's a good one.
Nah, very. Okay, so Willy Wonka or Tito.
Oh,
Well, I want him to answer your name, Willy Wonka. What does that mean to you? One word.
Oh, me?
No, Otito. I want him to answer your name.
Oh, okay.
So
what does Willy Wonka mean to you? What does his name mean to you?
Oh,
he's the word.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What does Willy mean to me? Okay, the name and the person. Am I doing the name of the person? Because the name and the person.
What? Okay, so whatever comes to mind.
Just one word. This is
one word. Whatever comes to mind. The person, the name, one word.
In LA. Oh. Baddest.
Guru.
And you, Willie?
I feel like I'm eccentric.
Eccentric.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I try to be different from everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I want people to accept me for who I am. Like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I try to think out the box. I just, you know how like the Willy Wonka factory is. If you ever watched the movie,
yeah,
like he was very hidden. No one knows him. You know, no one. He hides in his factory. He does all these crazy stuff, but no one knows who he really is. He does all these amazing candy, new adventures, new ideas. That's who I am. I'm like, but no one, only my close people who would know, who gets in there will know who I am.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's how I look at myself.
All right. Brother, we have like 3 more. Brother.
Who's answering?
I'm starting?
Yeah.
Brother. One word that comes to brother. Keeper, I guess. Keeper. That's the word. Keeper. Yeah.
Willie?
I think family. When I think about brother, like a family.
All right, Chimdi.
Trust.
On God.
Fire.
You answer that one easily.
Global.
Let's put it out there.
Number one.
Global.
Number
one. For me, it's like pivotal. It's a pivotal moment. Like.
Okay.
And serenity.
Peace.
Essential.
Yeah.
Calm. Like calm and steady, as I look at it. Like you're steady. Yeah.
Did serenity? Did Otito say anything?
Yes, I said peace.
Oh, okay.
Peace.
All right. And 2 questions. Choice of music. Do you like ballads or other? Like when you're singing?
What do you mean?
Both of you.
What do you mean by ballads?
Like, how should I say? Like slow music. Like, I think one of your songs, like slower than what Oh God is. Like
On
a
God?
ballad.
Yeah. We have a bunch. Are you talking about like Say Your Mind that we heard? Say Your Mind, one of our songs?
I listen to so many. So many of them. So it's like, some of them are fast and some of them are slow. So like what type of songs you like to sing is what I should ask.
I would say I prefer slower songs. If I'm doing a fast song, I prefer doing slow, like singing slowly on a fast song, on a fast beat. But overall, I like taking my time with the lyrics. Sometimes it's fun to like attack it and just kind of go up with the energy, but preferably like I like to kind of
slow it down a bit, like a rap type of slow rap, or just
slow rap mixed with like some singing.
Okay, all right, similar to what you're saying that you're gonna get into.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Wait, who's saying?
I think it's called. Hold on, Alti. Is that
Alte?
similar?
Well, kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'd say like mid-range tempo, like not too fast, but also not too slow. Because I like to like cut fast when I'm singing, but I don't know if I like the beat going really. Because if the beat's going really fast, I'm gonna be forced to like sing slow or simple. Because I don't want to fight against the beat.
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna let you do your thing, and when it's
My turn, I'll go.
my turn,
Sure.
now.
All right. So, Willie, do you have a preference of what you play music-wise?
I think it's just for me. It's based on my mood and mostly if I'm playing for a crowd, it's just the audience and the ambience there, like how it feels. Like I go by because I observe a lot. I like to look and feel a room a lot because I want to make sure the room is good and everyone's enjoying themselves. Everyone's moving. And it's also depend on what's going on there. That's the next thing, because it could be a wedding, it could be a funeral, it could be a baby shower, it could be a corporate event, it could be a fete. So it's just based on what's the mood at the time. That's why. Because I like all cadence. It could be slow, mid, high. Depends on the mood.
Mood. That's true.
Yeah,
that's totally true. What advice would you give? Winding down now. So what advice would you give to upcoming artists, like in the soca industry? As I mentioned before, it's like people always say it's like a crab in the barrel mentality, or people, how should I say, there's like a soca mafia, just to summarize it, Sorry to bring up that word. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's like a soca mafia where only certain songs are being played. People can't get their songs played, no matter what they do and so forth. And in soca industry, we tend to do things like give out music, and it's basically for free. So you're just giving it out and stuff to have the DJs play, right? So 2-part question. What advice do you have for people? Let me start with that first. What advice do you have for upcoming artists as far marketing wise, where strategically you could get your business out there, you could focus on yourself and make things happen?
I would say first step is like you gotta really believe in yourself. Like you almost have to have a delusional belief that what you're doing is gonna work. Like when I say delusional, like it's not gonna make sense to the normal person. Like they're gonna talk to you like, what do you mean? Like it's a soca mafia or whatever industry you're in, or this is not gonna happen. But you have to really believe, because that's the only way you're gonna convince anybody else to believe. You understand? It starts with you. That's number one. And number two, I'd say, because obviously if you believe in yourself, you won't give up, right? So you keep going. And then I'll say use your resources. Like really understand that we're in a very, like, the time we're in right now, like technology has really changed the game. Like there's so much things you could do now that wasn't possible 10, 15 years ago, right? Like with technology, with our phones alone, with our tablets, our laptops, the internet, like, there's so much information out there that's just at our fingertips. Use those things to your benefit. Like whatever you want to learn, like putting out music yourself, marketing music, like there's so much, tons of stuff on YouTube, articles. You can just have to take the time and just learn, educate yourself on this thing. Like there's never stop learning, find ways to put yourself out there, like apply different things, different strategies, measure your success. Okay, I did this yesterday. How did this work? Okay, I'm gonna do this today. What's the difference? And I think once you do those things and you don't give up, you stay consistent, I think your success is in your hands, because you don't need, there's no longer, like, you can be bigger than whatever anybody tries to box you into because of the internet.
Yeah.
If you make good stuff and you put your energy into it and you get the right people to help you market it, and like, and that's obviously with research, right? Like you can get your stuff out there and nobody can tell you anything, because once your stuff is trending, like everybody's coming to you now.
Yeah.
So all
you
those
have
rules
to do the work.
Yeah, all those rules that were there as far as gatekeepers, this, gatekeepers, that, like it won't matter, because now you're the one everybody's coming to.
Exactly.
But those gatekeepers are gonna open the gate. That's
Yeah.
so. That's
And
nice.
just back of what he's saying. There's this one of the songs that we worked on recently called it Penalty. You know, after just another crazy situation that's happening. But part of the line we said, I said, Dappa gang, we causing too much trouble to mute us. So that is predominantly what he just said. The line is saying, Dappa gang, we're causing too much trouble to mute us. So that's what you have to do, I feel like, to be successful in this kind of industry. Very competitive, like extremely, because there's so much people out there. So you have to disrupt. You can't come in and think you're gonna just nicely get.
And then,
you have to disrupt any place, any room that you enter. They have to be like, oh, you know,
these guys.
Ooh, these guys.
Like, it can't be something that you can just shuffle in. Like, if you try to fit the mold, it won't work.
It's not one of those things. This is not an industry where you're not in a corporate system. You're not in a safe environment. It's not safe here.
It's very fickle.
It's
very
fickle.
volatile.
It's for those that have the balls to go and take. You have to take it.
Yeah, you gotta take. It's not given to you.
It's not given
to you. Yeah.
But do you think like as you say, you know, your background is Nigerian. Do you think that helps? Helps.
Yeah, it does. Of course. I mean, yeah, I think definitely being Nigerian. I think that's essentially why Afro-beat is doing so well right now, because Nigerians as a general we have a fighting spirit.
Yeah.
We don't give up. But you gotta understand where that comes from. Like, Nigeria is a very good bad place.
Yeah, it's like the best worst place you can be.
The best worst place you can be. Let me tell you why. We have all the resources you have all the resources you can think of.
Yeah.
We have land, we have oil, we have coal, we have so much things, but our government is terrible, right? And I don't want to speak too much on that because I know it's going to be aired. So I'm just going to there. But because of that, our people are forced to, like, you know, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Because of so much lack, people get very creative in how they find money.
Yeah.
So that's in our DNA. It's in our blood.
Yeah.
Like,
they say a hungry man is an angry man.
Yeah. So anywhere you see Nigerians outside Nigeria, we're hustling. Like it's insane. So I think that's essentially the base of it. Like, you have to be hungry. Whatever industry you find yourself, you have to be hungry. Whether it's sports, music, whatever you're doing, you have to do it well. Like, you have to say, okay, what's going on in my industry?
Yeah.
Okay, who's the best? Who's doing it the best? Look at them, target them.
Yeah, and be better.
And like, the goal is you find the best 5 people and say, those people, I want to, in 2 years, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
And you just, every day, you go relentlessly.
Like, when I was working, doing like DJ business, like one of the people, one of my friends, I was speaking to her and she was telling me how, she's like, it's just crazy how, like, you know, like, you're coming here to some DJs are coming and they're trying to expose them. They get themselves exposed and they're not, you know, there's certain gigs and so on. I'm like, well, if you were to go to the Apple store, right, and you want to buy an iPhone and you say, oh, the iPhone, they say, oh, the iPhone is $900. And you say, oh, well, I only have $200. Are they going to give it to you? That is pretty much what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
She was like, you see yourself like Apple? I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, you do. You have to, first of all, you have to see yourself as doing big things.
Before it happens.
Yeah, you have to see yourself that way.
That's why when I started what I started by saying, like, it almost has to feel delusional. Like, people are gonna think you're crazy, but that's okay, because you'll find your people.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, and the thing about it is that, like, I'm not gonna wait till you tell me I'm Apple for me to think I'm Apple.
Exactly.
Because I think that's the thing that I feel like most artists do when they're starting off. Like, it's like there's this illusion that somebody's supposed to put you on. Somebody's supposed to do this and do that, but you forget that, just like any other business, what you're creating is a product.
Yeah.
When you have a product, you have to ask yourself a few questions. What is this product? Who's the market for it? Even if it's not good music. Some people like bad music. That's okay.
Really?
And
you
that's
mean
okay.
they don't know what they're listening to, so they listen to bad music?
No. There's something for everybody.
Yeah,
Let's say that. But I think even in the quest or the journey of the idea of finding the market for your bad music, that's genius, because you're still able to craft a career for yourself. I respect it. There's artists in this industry that I'm like, I'm not a fan of their art, but they have the crowd going.
Yeah.
There's one person that comes to mind, right? Well, a couple people, but there's one person that soared in our industry, and I could sing a part of his beat, and Willie, you'll know who it is, and he's like, he says, "What are you doing?"
Yes,
right?
That's young brother. He's nice,
and
but he's nice.
He just soared from what he believes in, because he's catchy, and people would be like, I listen to all types of music, right? I down to jazz and all that stuff. When I heard his, there was one song that he sang where he's like, what type of house you live in, or what type of house you like, B-I-G, and it's catchy. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to have a vocal singing talent, but it's just that his memory and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just catchy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not the judge of good or bad music. Like, I don't really. I think that's all subjective. Like, I like what I like what I'm trying to say. But it's like, what I'm trying to say is like there's a market for everything.
True.
And I think that's the other side of the art that I think I would tell upcoming artists to think about, that it's not, it doesn't stop in the studio creating the music.
That's the beginning of 10%.
That's the beginning. That's just the start. Like, everything else around it is the truth. Like, it's the story you're creating for your audience. Like, and that's in the music video. That's in even the way you dress.
Yeah.
The way you carry yourself. All those things is what's going to further sell your music. Like, people will meet you and go home and stream your song. Just because they met you. People will meet you, and just because they met you and you're so impactful, they're gonna go home and stream your song 10 times.
Oh yeah.
Right? But if you're just thinking about the music and like, I'm just gonna drop it and do nothing and I expect it's not gonna go anywhere, because first of all, there's so much music out there. So how are you gonna stand out?
Much competition.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say. How are you gonna stand out? So it's essentially just like, believe in yourself and knowing how to kind of craft your way in the midst of all the that's where it gets creative. That's the real creativity.
And wait, and then just be patient enough to fit into it.
True.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like,
patience is another big thing I would advise. Like, this industry is a long game. It's a marathon. You can come out and bust out and make that one hit and get lucky and take off. But, at the end of the day, everybody has different goals. Like, for me personally, like, I'm sure still probably feels the same way. We're trying to create a really timeless body of work over time. Like, to where, like, 50 years from now, you can go through our catalog and feel something real deep. Like, when I'm gone, when I'm no longer in this world, like, there's artists who I listen to right now, like Lucky Dubé. He's like a reggae. I love reggae. I love roots reggae. Lucky Dubé is one of my favorite artists, right? Like, I hear his music and the kind of calmness it brings to my soul. Like, I wish I could just bring him in front of me and thank him. That's the kind of vibe I want to leave years from now. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's why, for me, I don't necessarily need the instant gratification for my song to take off now. I just need to know that whatever I'm making now is felt. Because I know years from now, it's not about me. It's bigger than me.
It's bigger.
That's a huge point that he brings there. Once focus gets off of the frivolous and the what's that word? Vain things. I call it because it's things that can come and go, which is like fame, money, all that stuff. That comes and goes, like, throughout this journey. Once it gets off of that and gets narrowed to what the purpose is, just sky's the limit from there, because people sense that.
Yeah, they feel it in the music.
People feel it in the music. People feel it in your vibe. And I'm sorry to say it, but if you probably ask some of the artists that are going through these things, if you speak to them, you'll probably notice a bit of that. A little resentment. Why do people not like my music? Why is this? Why is you're forgetting the reason why you're doing this? It's not for you. It's not for my self-atone. It's not for people to be like, oh my God, yeah. It's not for that. You know, it's cool, it's enjoyable from time to time. Yes. I like when I put out work and people like I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. But that's not what it is for. What it's for, it's the paragraphs that they say, yo, I woke up today and I felt like doing more. I felt like living. I felt like getting what I needed to get done because
I felt motivated. I was feeling down. I put your music on and like
feel better. I was feeling depressed. The music got me out of feeling depressed.
That's what it's for.
So since you on that topic, I was gonna ask you, has there ever been a time where you actually felt like every day is a different day, as we mentioned, right? So have there been a time where, and all of you can answer this question, has there been a time where you feel like, I can't do this, or this was hard, it was a hard day, why am I doing this? You know, how am I going to get over this hump? Do they really understand what I'm doing this for? Even though all those type of questions.
Many times. Yeah. I think the life of an artist, and again, like to add to what you was saying, like I don't think once I started understanding what it means to be an artist, you understand that like you're giving even though you do get some type of financial reward from it, either now or later, it still doesn't equate. It never will equate to how much you give to the world as an artist, because especially if you're a good artist, like your soul is in it. And that goes to painters, that goes to actors, actresses, singers, whatever you name it. Like when you hear Whitney Houston's song, you feel her soul in it.
Yes.
But then you find out that she died from, cocaine addiction. You're like, damn, like what was she going through in her personal life that created that pain for her to now put in the music that we enjoy.
Yeah.
But her life, her actual life, you don't know what's all the stuff happening. And it's like, as an artist, like you have to understand that like you're giving yourself to your fans. Like every song you create. So it's like there's a lot of is a heavy content wear, knowing that you have to think about what kind of content you're giving them. 1, 2, you also have to think about, as I'm giving myself to these people, how am I taking care of myself to make sure I'm here for my people, for my audience, for my fans. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because essentially it's to go back to what I was saying, like it's a sacrificial thing. Like it's bigger than the financial or the accolades. It's more so like you are giving a lot of people hope. You're giving a lot of people inspiration in a world so lacking of it.
Yeah.
Like I know me, like before I became a musician, like I used to search every day for meaning in life through art. You know what I'm trying to say? Like as a kid, in high school, I drew a lot. Like in the middle school, like so I can imagine what my music is doing for people, where they're searching for some type of inspiration, some type of hope, and they hear a song, and they might not even understand what you're saying, but the frequency, the melodies, the beat is making them want to just like, if they forgot to do something, they were putting it off, they're gonna go do it now. Yeah. So, let me go do something in my life because this song is giving me the inspiration to do something, and that's what it's for.
Music does that. When I had to study and I have music in my ear, my dad would be like, you can't study and listen to music. You can't, but it brings that calm in you. Yeah, after a while, depending on what you're studying, you have to take it out your ear, but it would drown out everything that I was going through. You know, the way how West Indian parents would teach you is like, you don't know this, it drowns out so much that, So
no, it's like, I like to look at music as like, I feel like I'm a vessel, and when I think about a vessel, I think about like a flute. I feel like I'm a flute, like I'm a living flute. Yeah. Ever seen like the little record?
My cousin played it.
Like if you think about like the actual like
trombone?
No, like the flute itself or whatever it is, whatever instrument.
Yeah.
It's an inanimate object that air is blown through, and that air is creating a frequency that is either healing or giving life. And I like about that, like, and I'm a big God believer. I feel like that's on God. So in Genesis, God spoke and life came. You get? So I feel like I'm a vessel.
Yeah.
God speaks through to give, encouragement, life. And I feel like words and melodies are frequencies. and different frequencies give us different feelings. And I feel like I'm just doing whatever frequency was given to me to give me life to this point, you know, and a lot of music that I listen to that kind of encourages, you know, gets me out of depression, this and that. I'm just trying to continue that part of that cycle because I feel like it wasn't by accident, you know?
Yeah. Willie?
Honestly, I think music is just, you should be making music that's just impactful to people. That's the main thing, to impact. Like when I think about music, I think about Bob Marley. You see, like if you could play Bob Marley anytime, any day, everywhere, his music will live on till we die.
Yeah.
And that's what those are the type of music that I want to create. And that's what people should be creating. You know, music that will last.
Timeless music.
Timeless music. And a lot of the music that we are making now is not timeless. It's just for a short period. You just hear it and you move on. Like, as I said, it's like, I'm not saying that with soca, but there's certain artists who are making music just for the, you know, for the quick carnival, or that's just for the season, and that's it. But you gotta make music that will live forever. I know it's hard to make that music, but you have to take time with it.
Have that mindset first.
Yeah, mindset and all that. But I feel like it's that. Then I just feel like we have to make good music, like really good music. It's not. It shouldn't only be seasonal. It should be whenever you feel. Drop it. You know, don't like hold it. Why hold it? Why hold the music? For what?
True. I never understand that, where people say, I'm holding it for Barbados, so I'm holding it for this and that. I don't know if it's probably because of the expense of it, or
That's
they said like during the pandemic, they said we're not releasing music because nobody's gonna listen to it. We wanted the music because we were home.
And that's why I think about it. That's how Afro-beats was excelling, because the music was being pumped into our ears. That was the time. If you notice, the music was pumped. That's when I heard a lot of different artists, and I was on it. I was on it. Soca wasn't releasing. They pushed back. They pulled. That was their time. That was their time.
That was their time. Yeah.
That was their time, and they missed it. They sort of missed it, but they might get. I mean, soca music is beautiful music. There's a lot of great artists out there that I think young artists that are great, and it's just. And they make great music, and they're very different from what we've seen. They're more modern, and I'm seeing it like Jimmy October. He's one of them. I really like his music. Mikal, he's another one. Nyla, those guys, their voices are very different. You can see that it's unique and it's modern. It's new. It's the new age, and they're including Afro beats. You can see that they're chipping for the new type of sounds and including it to soca, because that's important.
So being that you're heavily in the soca industry and other industries, of course, like what influence are you going to bring to my gentleman over here? Like, have you guys dabbled in soca? Because I see that, you know, being that you're in New York, it was soca, it was hip hop, R&B, and so forth. So what do you see, or how do you see yourself in the soca industry, if any?
You talking to us?
Yeah.
Okay. So we actually with Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it's called No Regrets.
Yeah, we have one, and we had one with them, and I feel like what I'm trying to do is work with them to bring their vibration, the Afro beats with the soca. That's what I'm trying to create. Like
Afro soca.
Oh, so you're working on something right now?
Yes.
Well, So it's just that we're just trying to find the right sound and the right formula. I don't want to release anything, and it's not good. I'm trying to figure, like we were trying to figure out the right beats, just the essence of it. Like I just gotta.
We're doing a lot of homework.
It's homework. It's homework.
Which is good. Research,
So if you notice, like in the years with like in soca fets, every year there was always one or two Afro beats being played in the sets of soca.
Of course,
soca if you notice, now it's like they're playing more now. It's a longer set now. It's including there's more Afro beats, which is because of the growing, love of that music there. So
I think that fusion would be cool.
The fusion is beautiful. I feel like the fusion could definitely blend with each other. I could see it. It gels. Like how Olatunji is a perfect one.
Oh, yeah.
When he did,
Enj is perfect, and his
Yeah.
name.
Is he still doing that?
the
I
name.
haven't heard from him in a while.
No,
He-
he's doing music. He's making some nice, really the engine room.
Yeah,
Everyone say it's underrated, and it's a really nice. Even Kes mentioned it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a really nice song. It sounds very. It gives me that very calypso, like old school vibe. That's why it gives me
soca. Yeah,
yeah. That's what I'm
Kaiso.
like. Yeah, Kaiso. Correct. That's what it gives me. So it's just like him. He's a perfect example, and it works. You could see it works. It works in the soca. People like the music. It makes people move.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, yeah, right now with me and these guys, we're just trying to find the right formula and find something that's good. The No Regrets was my first try at it, and it was more of an uplifting song, just trying to I'm like, yo, I just want to see what I can
heard
do.
It. Yeah.
So right now it's just finding the right sound and what works for them that I could make. That's the main thing. I want to work for them. It's like so it's a formula that works, and we could keep doing it, and it's comfortable for these guys, to find the right, just find the right cadence, just the right, just positioning for them. That's all. That's what I think right now.
So I'd like to firstly congratulate you guys on your success on the song. Oh God, I love it. As I said, from jump. I don't think my recording started when I was saying that, but as soon as I heard that song, I was like, should I ask to do the interview now? Would I get it now? And when Willie said Sunday, I was like, yes. Because it's just super amazing, the dynamic that you have. And then when he said your brothers, I'm like, that's so amazing, Really. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to interview us as well.
You're welcome.
I love the energy.
Yeah.
Love that
smile.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We were telling that happiness was good on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. As soon as he came in.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just want, being that you wanted to do the interview, I'm like, yo, this is the time. Like, we have to to show these guys, because I know they're gonna be great in the next couple of years. You don't know, we're gonna be out there, and at least you got the interview now.
Yeah,
you got to experience them.
But
now.
in my eyes, from what I see, from the YouTube to everything, I was like, oh my God, these guys are so big. Like, I don't know how they're gonna take it, and how the interview's gonna go. And I was like, literally panicking. And then I was like, you know what? When you came on, I'm like, they're super cool. Like, they're really they're modest there, So
we definitely strive to keep it, to stay connected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Grounded. Super important.
Yeah, but you give off that energy. Everything that you do, stick with it. I mean, I know you talk about marketing and so forth. So everything that you do as a unit and together, it's what I see, and I'm sure what other people see, is it's very professional. You can't see past that to say that it's not professional. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And just from the body of work that you have and the people that you work with, it's showing that. It's not showing, I can't use anyone's name, but it's not showing that you're here. It's already showing that you're up here.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So can you give our audience your handles, let them know where to find you and so forth? And if anyone wants to work with you, I know you had mentioned Enjoy Music Worldwide. That's your business. So how do they contact you?
So first of all, our Instagram is ItsENJ_, and our Twitter is ItsENJ _. And you can find us on Facebook at ENJ The Dappa Duo, Dappa DAPPA, and then Duo. Those are our handles for the most part. And then to
email,
to work with us, just reach out to book.enj@gmail.com and you get us. Send beats or requests to collaborate. We're ready to work.
All right.
I think some fire music. If you got some fire music, or
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna know if some people would sift out who they want to work with and stuff. So is there any requirements? Because if somebody says, I didn't get them, I emailed them, nobody responded.
I mean, yeah, just definitely requirement. We just kind of want to see what's out there, because you never know, But there's definitely, we're not just gonna work do any song.
thing I would say. I said send for whoever wants to
send your best work, you know, and you know, and if you can check out our work, so to know what we work best with our sound.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. All right, could you take us out a cappella? Do you, any last? I shouldn't say last. I don't like using lasts, but anything you'd like to tell our audience before you leave?
More music coming. More music videos.
More music coming. More music videos. More experiences that we're going to talk to you guys about. And we're building our media house, so we're essentially going to be showing a lot more behind the scenes.
Nice.
But no, that's what the fans are looking for right now. We're definitely going to be showing you guys more in the life of ENJ, what it's like, you know, day to day. Us, you know, going to the studio, us doing shows, things like that. Us, even going shopping. We can see all those things, and this is kind of how we put out, because we also style ourselves as well, and so like other people. So you know, just people get to see like a piece of like what we do behind the scenes. So it should be fun. That's what's coming next.
Nice.
Oh, and for me, just honestly, I want to manifest to have at least. I want to get these guys to work with Nyla. Because I want that voice.
That'll be nice.
That one, so I hope that you know, just gonna put it out there in the air. Like if it happens, it happens, and you know. Yeah. But other than that, you're gonna hear new music from these guys. We just gonna keep, you know, keep pushing, keep pushing. And I also want to thank Nikki for having us on your platform. So appreciate it.
You're welcome. My honor.
Shout out to the Table Talk Show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want vibes. If you want genuine conversations, you know where to go.
My table talk.
Just to my
talk. Not the red table. The table talk.
The table talk.
Table talk.
Oh yeah, the table talk show. That's a good table. I had one more question, and I'm not sure if I asked that. The name. Where did you get the name from? What inspired the name?
The name, I think I mentioned before. Like, you know, people. As essentially our response when people ask us like what is this kind of music, like we just say it's enjoyment, you know. So it's ENJ, it's enjoyment, you know. That's why we have Enjoy Music Worldwide. A lot of our vibe and brandings around enjoyment, spreading joy. So that's essentially the source of what we do.
Beautiful. Can you take us out with any one of your songs of your choice?
Okay. But my baby, cool your temper. You know what they see through your tenta. Oh, biggie, so cruel, penta. No content for food, center. If I shoot at the truth, the tenta. Whenever I see you, Akucha, I'm watching all your moves like Guancha. There's nothing left to do. Get out. She got me singing, hey, yeah. Oroma, eya, oroma, eya, oroma, eya, oroma.
Girl, I'm amazing. There ain't no sympathy for anybody basic. You're bougie, but I will never chase it. Will never chase it.
I'm moving on my beat, you see.
Come on my face, girl. You're messing with
my energy.
Nothing compares to this rhythm and this
melody.
Oh, baby, because nothing compares to me. Okay, let's take it to Jamaica. What's going on? All that jealousy has got you plotting. I feel like I don't get you. We're just always fighting. Girl, I'm over it. They tried me.
Bravo. Thank you so much. It was very enjoyable. And I wish you all the success in the world and blessings and everything. And
likewise.
Thank you so much for gracing.
Likewise.
My show. Thank you.
No problem.
Wait, let me.
It's ENJ.
I'ma tell you something you already know. You killed the party, so criminal. You working that body, you moving slow. You got me believing in miracles. Where I know you had it, just let it go. This feeling inside is not visible. But I wanna vibe with you different though. But I want your body, your mind, your soul. Girl, you got me feeling inspired. When you move your body so fire. When you bring it back to me one time. Oh, got me feeling some kind of way. I can't figure out the words to say. If it's up to me, I know we'll be alright. You know you ain't gotta wait for me. Pray for me. Got me feeling some way for me. Oh, oh, oh. Something new about you, yeah. It got me feeling out of focus. Slow motion, yeah. Yeah. Bella, you're my Cinderella. I want you for lunch. I want you for dinner. My bunny, I could spend all my money, baby. Cause nothing is too much for you, my love. Forever's not too long with you, my love. In a bow, my brain, oh, yeah. So you're my serenity. For every pain, a remedy. You on my mind, you're my destiny.
Welcome to Table Talk. Table Talk. Table Talk. Table Talk.